This episode is brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency. If you're looking for an insurance agent with a personal touch, someone willing to have the real conversations about what's important to you, assistance with submitting claims, and offering quality coverage options, Farm Bureau Financial Services, Zach Miller Agency may be the place for you. Whether you need home, auto, farm, commercial, life, or health insurance, we're here for you. Check us out at agentzachmiller.com. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agriculture Insurance Company.
Welcome back to another episode of Touching Base. I'm Zach Miller, joined by my co-host Vance Neidig, and today we're thrilled to sit down with Clayton Novotny, owner of Moto Plex here in Nebraska, a guy who's built something special in motorsports and other local community events. Clayton, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. It's been a while. I've been kind of wanting you on for a while, and I think it's perfect timing, I think.
Yeah.
We want to kind of get started. Let's start in the beginning a little bit. Where were you born and raised?
Here in Norfolk.
Here in Norfolk?
Yep.
Did you, what was your childhood like growing up around here?
Good. Actually, kind of born right around here, right over by the old Christian college. Went to Christ Lutheran and then to Lutheran High. Like I said, born and raised here in Norfolk.
I didn't know you went to Lutheran High.
Yeah. Yep. Actually,
For some reason, I thought you went to Catholic.
Everyone does because I spent a lot of time with the Norfolk Catholic kids, Lutheran High kids. I kind of spent a lot of time with kind of everyone growing up. But no, yeah, I graduated from Lutheran High up there.
Awesome. What year did you graduate?
04.
04, so not too far. You guys was that when you graduated?
Same
Yeah.
year.
So kind of around the same time frame.
Yeah, I was actually the first class to go all 4 years up there at the building up there.
Oh, really? I guess I didn't realize. For some reason, I thought it was older than that. But you went all 4 years. You were the first class, huh?
Yeah, my sister was actually the first graduating class up there in 2000.
Okay, that's kind of cool to be a part of the first class to run through there. Get
Yeah.
all the kinks out for the rest of the kids.
Something like that.
What kind of like any activities in high school? Did you do any sports or
Football and golf. Kind of two random sports to put together, but yeah, football and golf.
what? Would you play in football?
We were 8-man still back then, so
Oh.
tight end and defensive tackle and tight end.
When did they switch? I guess I didn't realize they were 8-man for a while. Do you know when that?
They kind of went back and forth there for a while, but they were 8-man. I think actually the year after we graduated, they went into 11-man, and they went back and forth there a couple of times. So
they've jumped up classes pretty quickly then. Must
Yeah.
be getting more kids, I'm assuming.
yep,
Yeah. How big was your class?
I think we had 34, 35 my graduating classes all.
Wow, it's crazy to think of. I wonder I'll have to look that up to see what their graduating class is like nowadays.
Yeah, I think my sister's class had 12 in her graduating class.
Wow. Jeez. That's crazy to think about with,
Right?
having that, many sports that they've been pretty decent at over the years, right?
Yeah.
Because basketball was pretty good too for a while.
Yeah, basketball is kind of always their main kind of go-getter sport there for a long time and stuff.
Yeah. It's just crazy I guess if you're kind of not picking the kids that go there, but if you got kids that are going to come play sports with having a smaller class, it works out, right?
Yeah. I mean, everyone always says, well, you can go recruit and that kind of stuff. I hear a lot of that here in town and stuff, but when I went through there, we really didn't do that. I mean, because it was kind of really the kids from like Christ Lutheran School that went there, and then a lot of the other parochial schools in the area from Pierce, Battle Creek, Madison and stuff that ended up going there, a couple of kids. So, I mean, but you're only talking a class size of, 20, 30 kids in a class. It is kind of hard to say you're recruiting when you're not having giant class sizes to pick from anyway, too.
Right.
So,
Makes sense.
Well, I know most of Battle Creek, St. John kids either go to Lutheran High or to Battle Creek. That's it.
right.
That's the only two places they go.
Yeah. So you start looking at it that way, and how many kids go to St. John's. I mean, so
Not that many. I mean, yeah, each class probably had 10 to 15 maybe. And not like Mike Mike Smith, who I graduated with, went to school there and then came to Battle Creek.
yeah, Mike Smith was in my class.
Yeah.
Also, he went to Christ Lutheran and then came back to
I don't know
Battle
where Ollie went. I know he was at St. John's for a little bit and then he came
gotcha.
over to Battle Creek. Did he go to Lutheran High ever?
Yeah, he went to Lutheran High, I think, 1 or 2 years at Lutheran High, actually.
Oh,
Because I actually
okay.
golfed with him a couple of years at Lutheran High. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I said.
So junior high, he must have been at St. John's because I played football with him, and because St. John's played Battle Creek. So yeah, maybe he came back like junior, senior year or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
And sports are kind of weird around here because I know like when I was in like middle school, junior high, a lot of the smaller schools came and played with us. Like I'm trying to think, like Crisis King went up to like I think 8th grade at that time, so they would come play with us. A couple other of those little tinier schools would come do that.
Yeah, so like we would like from Christ Lutheran, we would come over and do football and stuff with you guys.
That's what I thought. Okay,
7th and 8th grade, and then from there,
that's what I thought. Okay, that makes sense. What about like any organizations or clubs, anything like that, or just kind of sports?
Just sports.
That's cool. Still golf when you can.
When I can.
One thing I never got into. I was never good at it. Horrible.
It was something I kind of got into. Like I said, my dad golfed. I kind of got into it. Something kind of like I used to wrestle when I was younger. Stopped wrestling and I broke my leg during wrestling. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna stop wrestling and be done with that. I'm like, okay, what else can I do? They're like, track. I'm like, I'm a big guy. I'm not meant to run.
Track sucks.
This guy's not a runner,
right?
Unless I have to, or I'm being chased or something like that.
Me too.
Golf.
That works. That works. Any early jobs or experiences like through high school or even early college that shaped kind of your work ethic back then?
I've always kind of worked. I'm kind of tell people I'm kind of weird. I like to work. I'm a kind of workaholic, but
if you like what you do, it's really not work, right?
Yeah, true. My dad's always worked to go to my mom's family farm during the summertime, worked on the farm and stuff, did everything there. I've really had a full-time job since I've been 14 years old. I started working at Sonic when I was 14, 15, when you're really quite school permit, learner permit, because it was one of those deals where because Lutheran High was outside of town and where I was at, you could get a school permit. I'm like, okay, I can drive. I can drive to work. I can do all that kind of stuff. So started working and
that works out. Started making that money early.
Exactly.
So talking about college, did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to Northeast. I did automotive, auto body, and some business management.
Was that in pursuit to work at the job you went to next? Or
No,
was that just kind of what you wanted?
I wanted to restore and work on old cars. That was kind of my goal, was to
down the restoration path.
Yeah, down the restoration path. And being at Moto Plex just kind of happened, I kind of worked there a little bit in high school at first. Don says like, hey, you want to help come put some machines together here and there. I'm like, okay, I can help you do that here and there. And then when he went to actually build the store we're in right now in 2003, he, my brother-in-law obviously liked to work and stuff like that. And he's like, hey, why don't you come down and help hang drywall and paint and some stuff like that for us? So we went down there and helped literally build the building, and I never left.
Just stayed.
What?
Yeah.
No, Don previously was across the street.
Yeah.
Right?
So Don had Don's Auto.
That's what it was. Okay. I
And
couldn't remember if it was just a tire shop or if it was a...
It was a full-on auto repair
auto
shop.
repair
Yep.
shop. Okay.
And then he had, like I said, he had Don's Auto, and then that little building across the way there, he had that. That's where it was Polaris of Norfolk.
Yep.
Back in '96 is when he first started with 6 machines.
And that was where the building is now, or
Renner
where
took over that, right? With his
Yeah,
wraps.
where that Renner Wraps is at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I remember that now. Yeah, and it was just a little tiny little Polaris dealership.
Yep.
And he owned that at the time.
Yep.
Okay. So he kind of started the Polaris in Norfolk, basically.
Yep. Yeah. His first order was 6 machines.
6 machines. Do you know how hard that was for him to get that license to sell those? Was it a big deal back then?
Not really for sure how tough it was for him to get that license. I know for a while there.
Because was B&B selling those at the time too?
Well, not Polaris. B&B had, I think back in the day, B&B had the Ski-Doo line that we have now and some of those lines. But now B&B just has your Honda,
Gotcha.
Yamaha, Kawasaki.
Okay. So it was really the first Polaris dealer in Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that either. And like you said, you said you started there and never left.
Yeah.
So what kind of positions were you kind of going through while you were there?
Kind of literally done everything. Like I said, started building buildings, sweeping the floor. I kind of, during high school and stuff, could only do so much, going to school, as a high school student. So after school, I'd go there and help, clean up, change oil, wash machines, that kind of stuff. During college and stuff, I went to college for automotive at first. So I would do my automotive stuff, during the day. And then those classes like were from 7 to 3. Then after 3 o'clock, go work there from 3 to 5. But we didn't have school on Fridays or Saturdays. So I'd work full times on Fridays and Saturdays and do everything there. It kind of ironically, no one wanted to work on watercraft because watercraft, you got to basically stand on your head, and it's fiberglass in your arms, kind of a pain to work on. So I'm like, all right, well, if no one wants to work on those, that kind of might be my end to kind of get into the shop and stop just being the grunt, to work on everything else no one wants to work on. So I kind of took it on myself to learn the watercraft, and that kind of became my niche, was the watercraft stuff there. So
I didn't realize that either. That's kind of and it is pretty difficult to work on those.
It is not fun
because you probably have to have it set on like a stand of some kind, or a trailer.
A lot of times, like the trailers that come on 2-place trailers, we'll dolly them off and put them on our own trailers we make. Or if they come in a single place, you can work on them. It all kind of depends on what you're doing to it. Some stuff you can just leave it on their trailer, but if you're doing like an engine swap or pulling off, a lot of times we'll pull those and put them on a separate dolly so you can work on them a little bit easier.
That makes sense. What do you know? What possessed Don to do the new building? Like to go from that little building and build this huge.
Well, we need a bigger building now, actually.
I was going to say now you probably do.
Yeah. Not for sure exactly. I know, I think kind of a little bit then too. I know right when he was building that building as kind of in 2004, that's right, like when the Victory motorcycle thing was becoming a thing and some watercraft and stuff. So I know he just needed some more room and stuff there. I'm not sure exactly what scaled up that move from there. I know when we got it done, we put every machine that he had on their showroom floor. I'm like,
whoops,
this is a big area, but we have a lot more room. And because you walk in there now, there's nice pathways and everything else like that. But now it's like, I wish it was all just one color, because those pathways, if we had to use those now, like it doesn't make sense, because in 2004, when that building was built, side-by-sides really weren't that.
They're much smaller.
They were much smaller, and they really weren't that big of a thing yet. They were just kind of becoming on the market. You figure the Razor really kind of set the side-by-side fun market going, and that didn't come out until 2008. So when we built that shop, it didn't really...
The original ones were more of like a four-wheel style, right? Or four-wheeler style, like the very first like side-by-sides, quote-unquote. There was like, they started with like the single-use ones, where you sat in that little
the mule
bucket.
The mule technically had the first work side-by-side. That was the...
Well, I meant like, I was thinking like the Razor side. Didn't they start the Razor style in like it was kind of a sit-down four-wheeler a little bit? A single that wasn't two people?
No.
Didn't they have a single-use one?
Well, they have a single-use one. That came out here probably about 4 or 5 years back, called the Ace. They kind of made that market for the mindset of people for like rental fleets, or like wanting to have OSHA approved stuff for people wanting to have that roll cage around them and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
That market didn't quite take off. Kind of like the Honda Odyssey, but a little bit bigger mindset.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but like the first Razor 800, it really honestly isn't that much bigger than the new size 850 or 1000 size four-wheelers now. I mean, they're pretty small, but that's what kind of started the whole recreation side-by-side market.
Yeah. So now you need a bigger showroom, is what you're saying.
Bigger showroom, bigger shop, more warehouse space. We're working with the city a little bit to try to figure out what we can do with that back alleyway / street, whatever they want to call it, to tear down some houses and put a bigger warehouse up if we can there. If not, we're going to look at maybe relocating our whole business.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're just to the point where we're wasting so much time on a daily basis of shuffling stuff in and out to not be efficient, to where it doesn't make sense for us to either stay where we're at if we can't build, or what we got to do there. So,
and there's not too much space besides taking out other houses or buildings around there, is there?
No, we own those houses back behind our one warehouse, but with some power lines and some streets and stuff that are there that are gravel that are no one really knows that they're streets other than kind of me in the city, because no one uses them except for me in the city, basically. Right. That if we could work something out to buy those or annex those, so taxpayers aren't basically paying to move snow for me, basically what's going on them.
Right.
Where we could put a bigger warehouse up and then they could collect tax money off that, and I could store more machines and retail more machines and more tax money that way. So
I'll have to go look at that. I can't picture it in my head what it kind of looks like back there. I'll have to go look at kind of what you're talking about.
It's a 300-foot long piece of gravel.
And just with a couple houses on it?
Mm-hmm. We've already torn. There was 3. We tore one down a while back, but there's still 2 on it.
Interesting. That would make sense, getting the tax revenue for all that.
You would think.
Having trouble with that?
Common sense.
Having trouble with it?
A little bit.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, government and common sense doesn't work. So I'll leave it at that.
So, I mean, obviously, Moto Plex itself kind of took off pretty quickly. Was that Don's original vision? Have you gone past that original vision, or what?
Kind of. Yeah, I think we definitely past the original expectations of what he thought it was going to be. I know he didn't really ever want to expand more than just the one store mentality, and obviously we went from the Norfolk store, and then we bought out Curry Brothers, then we bought out the off-road company and put those into one rooftop. So in 4 years, we've acquired 3 stores, put them into 2 rooftops. We're in the process of adding a 3rd location, hopefully having that up and running by the end of this year, first part of January.
Wow, that's quick.
For a 3rd location.
Can you announce where that's at, or?
Not quite yet. Getting pretty close to. I know Abe's been putting some teasers out there on our socials and stuff on it. So I know if you go out there, you can kind of see some pictures.
He probably told me and I forgot.
Probably. Abe.
Yeah.
But no, I think we've definitely passed what he envisioned the original Polaris of Norfolk.
Kind of what I assumed. Yeah. So you've definitely taken it beyond. Have you gone beyond your own vision so far? Or was this kind of what you wanted?
We kind of knew it was going to grow. The time frame that we're growing in, I wasn't expecting to happen as fast, but kind of with anything, when opportunity arises, you got to take advantage of it. So kind of right now you're kind of seeing some of that buy sell going on with some dealers. They're kind of reaching that retirement age with things changing the market after COVID, during COVID. They're not really wanting to compete and do some stuff. So it's changing some dealers out there about how they want to do business or not do business. So there's a lot of stuff changing.
Did some of them, we kind of went through the COVID thing. That's when we bought that first Ranger from us that we built because we couldn't get what we wanted, right? Because you had to do whatever you had to do to get one. Dude, did some of the dealers that you're talking about, did some of them, like, it was easy for them during that time, and then they didn't want to keep working at it, and now they're like, I don't really want to do this anymore? Is that kind of what you're seeing now?
Yeah.
Like, now you have to get a little bit more, because now you can get machines, right? Like, it's easy for a guy, not easy, but you can go get a machine. At that time, you couldn't get a machine.
Yeah, like when I bought, or the wife and I bought Moto Plex, it was like, we bought it, we had like 10 machines, we sold those. It's like, okay, now what? Okay, we got the service going. Like, we had, like, we'd get machines, we'd sell them. Like, when we get more, like,
yeah.
it was tough there for a while, but good and bad, right? So we weren't paying for inventory, but as soon as we were getting to selling it, but we didn't have inventory to sell. Now it's, you kind of have more.
You have some inventory.
Yeah, you have inventory, and some inventory they're like, well, if you want this good inventory, you got to take the stuff you don't want as well. So now it's getting back to the days of where you actually have to sell. Like, oh, there's clerking and there's selling, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can
just run a kiosk,
right?
A parts guy,
right? Exactly.
Not to put down people, but somebody's going to come in for a specific thing, and they're going to get it. As opposed to, I got to sell you this.
There's selling and there's clerking. There's like, you want this, here you go, right up, thank you.
Yeah.
That was kind of the COVID days, and those are gone. Now it's back to actually selling Moto Plex, what's the value from buying from us? And that's why we have our loyalty unit program and stuff. You buy the machine from us, you get X amount of off your service, you get discounts on this, you get that. We give value in Moto Plex versus some other dealers out
Is that something that you implemented, that loyalty program?
there. Yeah. Yep.
And that's kind of why you wanted to do it, to set yourself apart, make the sales, things like that?
Yeah, you got to do something to set yourself apart from other dealers. So we kind of implemented that loyalty program, and then that's why we do, the comedy show tickets. When we do the state fair, we have VIP tickets to the concerts and stuff there. Like I said, we seen you at the state fair.
Yeah.
We gave a bunch away of
I didn't even know you did
Yeah.
that. Like, you said all you had to do was say something. I was like,
yeah.
wow,
I'm like,
I've found somebody that
hey, you buy machines from us. We put out there in our stuff all the time. You if you're a loyal customer to us, we want to be loyal to our customers,
Gotcha.
your family. So we want to make sure we give back to the people that buy from us and keep us open. So
Yeah, I've noticed your comedy seats are always, it's usually new people every time, like customers. I'm assuming it's not just you guys going and using those seats.
and that's the whole point. It's like we could very easily take those tickets for ourselves and all of our employees all the time and go, but that's not really the point. It's the point for our customers to come use that stuff. Say, hey, well, your machine might have been $100 more, or $200 more. Why? Well, because we want to make sure that there's value of getting your machine in and out of the shop. We have a nice clean service facility. We give you a discounted rate on your service, on your parts. We have these extra comedy show tickets. There's things like that we can do for you that's up and beyond, so that upfront, well, this dealership might be a little bit cheaper than you. Well, the overall experience, that's what we're trying to sell ourselves on. Sell the Moto Plex brand, not just that piece of equipment.
That's what builds long-lasting relationships.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like your dad. He had some
it
issues.
was
with,
rough.
He had some issues with his machine, and Polaris was kind of going, well, we're not for sure what we're going to do. I'm like, hold on a second.
Let me make some phone calls.
That was you helped us out there a lot. That's worth every penny right there.
It was an engine rebuild, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, our engine
not an
seized
engine
up.
rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had an engine that literally locked up, and they were kind of giving the runaround. I'm like, hold on, let's
Under warranty. I mean, it was technically under warranty, but
yeah, it was it was a warranty deal. They were still kind of, because they didn't have like all OEMs, and that's how I tell people, I'm like, I might sell Polaris or Can-Am or Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki. Because we have between the both stores, we literally have
Everything.
all the brands. So I don't work for the OEMs. I work for my customers. So if something breaks, something happens, it's like, hold on a second. So it's like, we figured out what was wrong. Yes, it's under warranty. But they're like, well, where's the proper documentation for this? I'm like, we have it. We're missing this one little.
Right.
We didn't have the I dotted just right. It was dotted, but not quite colored in all the way. So I'm like, you're gonna take care of this. And they were kind of bucking it a little bit, like, you're gonna take care of this. And we got it all figured out and got a new engine put in their machine. So
That's good. You gotta hate when they try to get it on just a little bit of red tape.
yeah, but but again, that's what we're there for as dealers, to make sure that, again, we work for our customer base. Yeah, there's a good reciprocal relationship between us and the OEMs, and we want to keep that as a good relationship. Not saying that they're always bad and that kind of stuff. They do a lot of good stuff for us to help each other out, to make it so we can give good deals to our customers. But we also have to be loyal to our customers too, to help them out when things like that happen. It's not like they took it out and swamped it and put it in the river and abused it and ran it out of oil. Something happened. It was just
Right.
honest. I mean, around here, that's what's a little bit different is a lot of our stuff is ag based. We're probably 80 to 90% ag based versus rec. So
yeah, that thing's never been on a trail. It did the concrete poker run once or twice, but that's on gravel roads. Like
exactly,
that's all that is.
So we're ag based. So our stuff is meant more for their workhorses. So our customer base, like when it's broke down, they need it back right away, and they're, when can we have it back? How fast
Because
can
they're
we have
actually
it back?
using
'Cause
it. It's not recreation.
It's a piece of equipment. They use it every day on their farm.
Right.
So that's kind of why we do preach the whole, it's not like we're trying to sell, extended service contracts as snake oil, like they feel like automotive stuff. We try to say, hey, that prepaid maintenance, service plans, all that kind of stuff. We kind of did some math on the average person, farmer, keeps their machine for about 3 years. I'm like, let us take care of it for 3 years. Your maintenance, your service, everything. Let's warranty it, everything for 3 years. So there's a problem. It's, hey, Clayton, got a problem? I'll bring it to you. Take care of it. That way,
It's all documented. It's all
taken
everything.
care of. They're like, oh, we don't need to. But things like that, it just
makes sense.
Makes it easier for people. So that's kind of our big push right now, is just to try to make things easier for the customers that way.
Makes sense. As far as like, do you ever do like any kind of like take home test drive type thing where they can take it home for a night? Or test drive a little bit? Is it kind of like vehicles or no?
Not really. I mean, we have enough area around where we're at to where we can kind of test drive that area. We've tried the whole, how do I say, let me take a machine home for a weekend and try it, and sometimes that doesn't turn out.
It's a little bit different than a car.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was getting to. Is like,
yeah,
because they probably don't treat it the best.
Exactly. So a lot of times, I mean, people kind of know what they're wanting by the time they get there and have been around these things. So for the most part, with the areas that we have around our shops and stuff like that, you can get a pretty good test drive and stuff around there. And then between like Husker Harvest Days and places like that, there's enough demo ride stuff around the area that we can kind of do that way. But as far as just letting people, hey, here you go, take it home for the weekend, not so
That's
much.
kind of what I figured. But I at least wanted to ask the question. Going back to the OEMs too, is there a certain radius for each one of those? Like, are you the main dealer for that specific one of any of those in like a 50-mile radius or a?
Yeah, so each OEM has their own kind of PMA, their own regulations of, so like Polaris, theirs is from here 45 miles. Can-Am's a little bit different. They all kind of base it on population, sales, that kind of stuff. They all have their own kind of algorithm of what your area is. And they kind of will send you a map and say, this is your area. You got to take care of this area. And they'll give you, pump in, pump out numbers of someone selling into your area, selling out of your area, to kind of make sure you're taking care of your area. And if you're not, you need to figure out why, if kind of go from there with it all.
So that 45 miles was perfect for you to do the Columbus one?
Well, it kind of, because they put they put the off-road company there, what was that, probably like 12 years ago, and it hurt a little bit the Norfolk, and that's when I was just kind of working there, and then it made it tough on some of the Polaris sales, and I knew, like, okay, when I went down there and bought Curry Brothers, I'm like, all right, off-road's next. Because it just made sense for us to have that one down there and to have the whole pie down there. So
was that something you were approached about, or did you approach them about that? Both of them. Or can you not say?
Rather not.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because with all the buyouts and stuff. Now, I've been with all the buyouts stuff. I've been approached with, I can't even, probably 15 other buyouts, probably, of other dealers saying, "Hey, are you interested?"
Probably across multiple states, I'm assuming.
Yeah, between South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, about buying other dealers and stuff out. So
you only got so much money too, and you can't just
got
to get one off the ground before you can keep buying more.
Yeah, and if like some of these OEMs had their mindset about it, they go, "Hey, just go off from this, and you can get it." I'm like, with whose money? If you're going to pay for it, absolutely. They're like, well, we like what you're doing. It's great. We like your model, and things are going good. But just go do this. I'm like, how?
Do you think they prefer one company or one person to own that many? Is probably their thing if it runs efficiently like yours.
Some OEMs have it to where, like, you can only have so many rooftops. Like, one OEM says you can, like, your dealer group can be 2. Once you get to that third one, then you become you have different rules, and you got to meet different criteria. You have to meet so much market share. You have to buy so much of their product. You have to have so much floor space. So once you want to get to a certain level of stores, you have to meet different criteria to keep on adding to stores underneath the same umbrella.
Gotcha.
Some OEMs are like, hey, if you're doing good with us,
Go at it.
keep buying more. You know, they don't care. At the end of the day, they just want you to sell their product. So it's kind of again, back to that give and take. But there's some of it too where they also don't want you to get too big in an area to where if you're multi-line and you get in an argument with them, well, then you shut them down. Well, then all of a sudden there goes our market share.
Right.
So that's kind of back to that whole how many stores they want you to get, how much of their market share do you control? Are you hitting their criteria before you continue to grow and stuff like that to make sure you are a good business partner? But also for us, we want to make sure we're picking which OEMs we want to do that with too, because if they're making us take product that we don't necessarily want, is that a good partnership for us as well too?
Right, because you got to sit on that product no matter what.
Exactly.
At that point. And then obviously as you grow too, efficiency probably drops unless you can clone yourself, right? Or find the right people.
Yeah. It's been hiring's definitely a challenge these days. We have a good staff. Obviously we've grown a lot. I mean, when I bought Moto Plex out, we had 8 employees, and I think now we're in the 30s
Between both stores?
between both stores. And obviously, with adding the third, we're going to have to add some more, and a lot of it's trying to figure out too the efficiencies and changing things different. You know, we've changed computer systems now a couple of times. We're adding some computer systems, trying to figure out what does or doesn't work with having multiple rooftops. What does or doesn't work having, you know, different brands at each location, trying to standardize things. You know, it's kind of been our, you know, every once in a while I kind of pick a mantra. You know, at first it was like, you know, communication. We got to make sure we're all communicating. Now it's process and procedures. You know, we've got to make sure everyone's doing the same thing, process and procedure wise, making sure to document, making sure that everyone's doing their SOPs, making sure everyone's doing everything to each store as we can, as much as we can, the exact same. I get there's going to be a little bit differences because not each store carries all the same stuff, but it doesn't mean that each document, just because Norfolk doesn't have Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, doesn't mean our check form still can't have those boxes on there. Doesn't mean we have to check it. There's no point of making 4 different forms. Just make one form and just, you know, check off what applies for you at each store.
Right. That almost make it kind of confusing if you had different. Because do you have people ever like swap stores, I'm assuming?
Yeah. For a while there, we had some people that were, you know, back and forth. We had some people that were, you know, in the military that were deployed. So we were short some people. So we had some people kind of pulling double duties at both locations. And we switched computer system right while that was going on. So that made things tricky. So we kind of were just limping along and making some things work. Now we got some people back from deployment. We did a big brought a firm in for 10 weeks. We found this firm that basically comes in and it does a complete kind of evaluation of your business. I mean, they came in and looked over everything that we do.
Like every facet?
Yeah.
Do they specialize in what you do, or?
No, they kind of just in just small business
in general.
And they kind of came in and just making sure, like, you know, if you, like Clayton, if you passed away tomorrow, what's going to happen to your business? You know, they had my Katie in there and stuff. He's like, you know, if he's gone tomorrow, what's going to happen? How are things going to run, and who's going to do what and stuff on it? And so we kind of went through the whole process of, you know, how many more people do we need to bring in? How does this structure need to look? You know, tax planning, estate planning. I mean, they did everything, even, you know, wills, and I mean, it was intense.
That's
but
good.
It kind of made you open up, going, oh, this is,
oh shit,
yeah, we're getting real. And it was kind of ironic because we met with a couple of OEMs too about our growth and how we went from the 1 store to 2 stores, and we're adding a 3rd store. Most likely, I could see us probably by this next summer having a 4th rooftop. And, you know, you start adding those stores, and if we're not standardized and keeping things, you know, up to snuff and uniform, it can get off the rails pretty quick. So we kind of looked at all that stuff going, what do we need to do to make it standardized, and how to make this stuff work? So they kind of came in, and we had, her name was Laura. She was there every day for 10 weeks. She basically moved into a hotel, and she kind of went over everything and helped us come up with a game plan of how to draw stuff up and that kind of stuff. So we're implementing that stuff, and even to the point where Katie, my wife, she's like, she was part of corporate for 25 years in insurance world. She's like, I'm kind of getting a little burnt out over there. We're doing this thing over here. We kind of made this thing up, kind of, carrot farm mentality. She's like, over here at my job, they're kind of doing some stuff over here, carrots and stuff like that. She goes, we planted our own carrot farm. Let's go harvest this stuff. Let's take care of our own stuff, So now we're over here doing our own thing, and she's part of it now. She kind of retired from her corporate job, and she's over here now. She's been over here for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks.
Oh, really? That recent?
Yeah, that recent.
She's probably loving it though.
For the most part, except for dealing with me every day.
Well, I was going to say you're working together. How's that work out?
Or when you leave your phone and she has to deal with your phone.
Yeah, it was a little crazy today. Yes, she calls the shop and she's like, "Your phone." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, I don't have it with me."
It was pretty funny. I tried calling him and she answered, and I'm like, she's like, he left his phone, so you're gonna have to go through me.
Yeah, I had a couple people go, "You didn't leave your phone. You just want to talk to him." I'm like, "No, I legit forgot my phone." They're like, "How did that work?" I'm like, "It was tough."
That's the first thing I told her was he left it on purpose, 100%. That's funny. Those computer systems you're talking about, when you change those, it's expensive.
Yeah,
when you're changing systems like that,
they're not cheap, and they always say it'll be seamless. It is not seamless.
No, moving data is never a seamless process.
No,
especially when you're talking about if you guys ever have like credit cards on hand or any kind of personal information on people, it's a very tedious process.
We try not to keep anyone's like personal or credit card information out on hand. Like the most
I
people
shouldn't have said credit cards. Most people don't keep credit cards.
Yeah, we try not to even as far as like running credit stuff like that. We don't want to be anywhere near that kind of stuff because that gets into that red flag and that kind of stuff. So we kind of do that with the lenders and stuff like that. So the most we have is like people's like mailing address, but even that kind of stuff, you don't want that stuff getting out there and contracts and stuff like that because it can get tedious and that kind of stuff. But yeah, when we switched systems, it took, we switched this last time we switched systems was in March, and we're still kind of working out some of the kinks and bugs in it.
I'm sure. Were you able to capture all your data? Sometimes I know some of that gets lost.
Majority of it, we got captured and stuff on it. But the other side of it too, we're realizing is a lot of these vendors and stuff, whether it be website, CRMs, DSMs, any kind of that stuff it's the contracts they make you sign anymore. It's getting ridiculous. It's like you have to sign and go, okay, all right, we're gonna work with you, we're gonna partner with you, we got things figured out. Now here you go, sign this 60-month contract. We're like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna do that. Because if you're not here, you get bought out and don't do stuff. I'm not doing that. And if we grow and can you facilitate 4, 5, 6 rooftops, or we need 3 more websites, or not for sure, but yet you want me to do this and not do that. I'm like, we're not signing this contract. Right. So it amazes me how many people want paid to do stuff in the future that they're not even doing yet. It's kind of like, with fire,
or may not do.
It's like fire. It's like firing a football coach. Now I'm going to fire you, and I still have to pay you. I'm like, some of these places, like our website provider, like, we're not going to use you. Okay, we have your contract until here. I'm like, well, you haven't done this for the last 5 months, so you're going to pay us our money back? Well, no. Okay, well, I'm not going to continue to use you.
Right.
Well, that's not fair. No, it's not fair. You haven't done your job, so why should I have to pay you?
Right. Yeah, I've never understood that with some of those things that you pay ahead of time, and they're not really doing their job. They're paying to be on call, basically.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So we've definitely been finding more providers, and by looking at some other dealerships and stuff that are like us, that are growing and changing, and multiple roof types, finding these providers that are up and coming. Like, yeah, we don't do the whole 2-year, 3-year, 5-year contracts. We're month to month, because if you can't trust us month to month, then we're not doing our job. It's kind of like us. We want you to come buy from us and be our customer because we have a nice store. We have great facilities. We have certified techs. We get your machines in and out. If you can't figure stuff out, I want you to be able to come in and talk to me. There's transparency there. With some of these other companies, there's no transparency.
Right. And those are the good ones too, because a lot of times with those ones that wanted you to pay for so long of a contract, did that because they knew that people didn't really understand some of what they were doing, right? So they could get
Yeah.
away with it. Now these month-to-month ones are nice because they're like,
Well,
well, we
that's-
understand it.
And that's what was tough. You figure Katie and I have only owned Moto Plex for 4 years, and unfortunately, in that short 4 years, we've had some of those contracts. It's like, hey, they're finally coming up. We're getting rid of that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not making that mistake again.
Right. When did you first realize or know that you might have the opportunity to buy the business? And I'd also didn't. You told me before the show that it was only 4 years ago. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, June 5th or 6th was 4 years.
Wow.
So it's been a crazy 4 years. Actually, Katie and I really contemplated moving back to Ohio because that's where she's from. Her family has some steel company stuff back in the Youngstown, Ohio area and
Yep.
stuff. I obviously we stayed here. Good decision. We like it. We got our property, got our dogs. We got our 20 acres out there, our pond, and our little fruit trees and all her gardening and that kind of stuff. It's fun out there. But before we moved out there and stuff on it, we were really contemplating of, is this really what we're going to do out here and stuff? And her grandpa and I had a lot of conversations and stuff, when he was still with us. I would talk to him about Moto Plex and his steel mills and stuff. And I'd go out there and talk to him about what he had going on and potential working for him and doing some stuff out there with his businesses. And it got to the point of him and I sitting down and talking, not I wouldn't say numbers, but talking about different options out there because they were looking at adding on some plating companies out there. So her family has slitting and stamping steel manufacturing out there.
Okay.
And so they build parts for Tesla, Bobcat, Freightliner. They have a whole plant down in Mexico just for Freightliner. That's all they do is build parts for Freightliner. And they send a bunch of other stuffs to a plating company in, I think it's in Indiana someplace. And we're sitting here talking about it. And like, well, there's an empty building across the street. Why don't you plate your own stuff? He's like, I got no one to come run it. You should go do that for me. I'm like, I don't want to do that because it came down to the whole thing of call it stubbornness of me or whatever. I'm like, I told Katie, I go, I can't come work for your grandpa knowing you're just a guy that's working for me because you married, my granddaughter mentality.
You didn't want the privileged
Nepotism.
Yeah, nepotism type thing.
I'm like, and he's like, I knew you were going to say that. I offer that knowing that's what you'd say. And that's, him and I just had that mutual respect for each other and stuff on it. So it came to the point to where either I was going to buy Don out or move back there, start something different, or I was talking with a couple of different power sports OEMs about starting up a dealership close by and stuff on it. It got to the point to where Don and I just kind of work things out.
That's good. That's
the
good.
rest is history.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're doing well. Did you guys, obviously it was probably long conversations. I'm sure there was a lot of negotiations involved, right? With Don.
You could say that.
Yeah. A lot of beers probably had.
Yeah, it was interesting because the fact of me being there for so long, knowing how everything worked for the business, how the business and stuff like that, and values and this and that and stuff like that. So it was kind of it was interesting.
I'm sure. Was there anybody else in line, or were you kind of the only one that was, or does anybody else want it?
I think there was a couple other people that were looking at potentially trying to buy Moto Plex at the time. But I know for the most part, when Don and I were talking, it was kind of basically an A and B conversation. If it wasn't going to be me, then he would talk to someone. I know he kind of mentioned a couple of people that were interested in it. I'm like, but I kind of shut that down. I'm like, if you're going to play the whole offer me this, offer me that, I go, I'm just not going to go there. So it kind of stopped that. But I think the respect for him and I with working each other for so long and stuff like that. It kind of was pretty easy that way.
I'm sure. Did you, as you were making that decision and the decision was made, did you get any cold feet as everything was maybe coming to start signing stuff?
Not really. I think Katie and I kind of made the decision once we knew we wanted it to make things work, that we knew we could make things work there and stuff on it, because of being in the business and knowing Moto Plex of Norfolk for so long. I knew the business, knew what we could do, knew how we could grow the business and stuff there. It wasn't necessarily cold feet. It was just, I kind of made the comment to her and a bunch of my friends and stuff, and we're coming up on it. I go, it's going to be tough. I go, people are going to hate me for the first 5 years friends wise, because it's like I'm going to have to basically bury my head, keep my head down for the first 5 years of owning a business. So you got to just grind and grow it and do what you can to make sure things are going the right way for the first 5 years, so it doesn't fail, and make sure things are going right, to keep it to where after that we can, I don't say take it easy, but maintain it and make sure things are done right. Because you always hear the horror stories of the first 3 years of a new business failing and stuff. Granted, it's not a new business, but it's new to us as owners. So it was tough in the sense of with Katie and I going, well, we're going to own this. It's ours now. It's our baby. With us not having kids, this is our baby. We're going to take care of it. We're going to nurture. We're going to grow it. So it's been a lot of long hours and stuff like that of missing out on some stuff, not doing things that we would typically do. With us not having kids and stuff like that, people are like, well, what do you guys do? I'm like, work,
Yeah.
work. Well, you guys travel. I'm like, majority of the time they're work trips.
You're right.
Oh, they're still trips. I'm like, you say that until you do those work trips. They're
Right.
still work
Still
trips.
work. Not a whole lot of relaxation going on.
But
That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, I've grown up, the farm world, they're showing cattle. Like, yeah, it's a vacation, but it's not vacation. I mean, we're out there, we're trying to sell our product or whatever. Like, you do what you can have fun. There's people talk, like, I hate vacations. Like, the first vacation I went on in a long time is when we went down to Florida. Like, I just don't do vacations because we do our work trips, and I figure that I take that as a vacation. I count it as a vacation, but I'd rather, and then you're still busy, but then you take a vacation. It's like, this is a whole new situation for me. I'd never really
it's like
done it.
it's like our last thing we had, the Can-Am. It was literally over my birthday. We had the Can-Am launch out in Boston. So it's like, she's like, we're going to spend a couple of days out here because it's your birthday. I'm like, I don't care. It's my birthday. She's like, no, we're going to. Yes, we are.
Did she have family in Boston too?
No, my cousin Ben used to live out there for a while.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew you had some ties to Boston, but I couldn't remember
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, Ben lived out there. So that whole work thing, when she was still working where she worked at, she was actually down in Dallas for a few days with her work, and then she flew from Dallas to Boston to meet me out there. Excuse me. And so we did the whole Can-Am launch, worked and stuff like that. And then we took 2 days to do the whole Boston, Salem, that whole area, because she loves Halloween, loves all that kind of stuff. So we did that. But it's like, so we took 2 extra days because we were there and it was over my birthday. But it's like, they're like, well, you guys had a vacation. I'm like, yep, sure did.
Sure.
And on the way back, she got pneumonia.
Oh, geez, that's not good.
Oh, it was tough. Like, we were driving back from the airport. She's like, you're taking me to the hospital. I'm like, what? She's like, I can't breathe. We're going to the hospital.
Oh my gosh, that's probably pretty scary.
Yeah, it was.
Obviously, everything
tough.
turned out okay.
Yeah,
but-
yep.
And pneumonia is not something to screw around with.
No, I mean, she was, out there. She was okay, but she was feeling a little tough. But yeah, as we're driving back, she's like, are you all right? She's like, oh, I'm having a tough time breathing. She's like, can't breathe at all. We're going to the hospital. So we just
Did it right away.
Yep.
Makes sense. And Katie's got some pretty good business savvy too. So I'm sure you guys bounce ideas off, or you bounce ideas off of her quite a bit.
yeah, she's very business savvy, and that's what's great now too about having her at the business and stuff like that. She's kind of coming in and helping out with. We had that
Keeping you in line. Sorry.
as much as she can. Having that consultant there with that. Her name was Laura. There, she kept on saying, she's like, when I leave, she goes, Clayton, one thing that's going to be tough, you need to have that person that's going to help you. She goes, with you and all your ideas of wanting to grow this and do that kind of stuff, you need someone to kind of be here to help keep all these practices in line and going. And who's that person going to be? And from the time she met Katie, she's like, Katie needs to be here.
Found her.
Katie needs to be here. Katie can do this. There's no reason why she's not here. And the more she was there for those 10 weeks and Katie was there, she's like, I kind of like this. And unfortunately with Katie's family tragedies this year kind of brought things to light of like why she doing things. I don't say why is she working for someone else when she can be working for us and the family and stuff like that. So she's like, yeah, I'm gonna take her advice and kind of come over here and help our business out.
So kind of probably changed things like that. Can change your perspective on a lot of things. I'm sure it kind of made her rethink of what meant to her in life.
Yeah,
what's meaningful.
25 has definitely been an interesting year.
Tough one.
We're ready for 25 to be over with.
We're getting there. We're getting close. I've been feeling the same way, and I can see what you're talking about with getting stretched too thin. Sometimes I feel that on the podcast or even at work. When you're the only person, sometimes thinking of things or being around the stuff, it's tough to like try to go venture off and do something different when then that gets left.
Yeah,
with nothing to it.
And that's what's been tough too with the two stores. I've been spending one day here, and it's been working, but not giving each place the full attention it deserves, and that's on me for doing that and trying to find the staff to help do that. But now with having Katie there, I think things are gonna exponentially get better because she knows our vision because it's her vision too of what we want to do with the Moto Plex brand and how we're rebranding. A little tidbit there with some of the rebranding we're doing with the new locations of how we're gonna rebrand and do some stuff there. She knows that vision, and so she can kind of help guide the people that we're adding on and the people that are there and change some of that stuff. So she'll really help grow the store in a good way of being there.
That's good. I think it's always good to everybody know the same vision that you want to do, because then if you are gone, that things are going to go the way you wanted them to.
And that's what's nice though with Katie and I. People are like, how can you guys? I always said, how do husband and wife work together? Granted, it's only been 2 weeks. So far, it's been good. We might
you're in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, we might bicker here and there and stuff on it, but at the end of the day, we're passionate about what we want because we both want the same thing. So yeah, we might bicker, argue, but we both know it's for the betterment of what we want. So.
Gotcha. Is there anything else like specifically about Motoplex that you want to talk about? We'll talk about the race car stuff here in a little bit, but is there anything else specifically about Motoplex that we maybe didn't talk about or that you can say that I missed maybe?
Obviously we're growing, getting a couple more, getting one more location, hopefully it's there. We're in the process of building on it, remodeling it, working it out, and that kind of stuff this year. Obviously, we're hiring. We're always hiring. Like Katie's been saying with Abe and stuff. I know they're working on stuff. We'll stop hiring. We stop growing, but we're not going to be done growing for a while yet. So we're hiring for all the positions. We're even looking for like in-house CFO, CPA.
When are you getting rid of that guy? Just kidding.
Sometimes we think about that.
Oh, we love it.
We're really hoping to. We've been working with some legislation stuff to change some things to hopefully help our business in the industry to help grow some things there. So we're trying to kind of plan hopefully for what we want to see there, kind of manifest that into happening. So we're kind of planning with that potential growth potential and getting some things going that way. So
what made you want to step in and talk about some of those at the legislature? Like what did you get asked to, or is that something you wanted to do?
Well, a little bit of both. I kind of seen the issue back in 23 coming up when Polaris launched that 1500 in Nashville and they came out at the weight side of it. I'm like, that thing's over 2,000 pounds. We're going to have a problem. And like, oh, it'll be fine. I'm like, no, it's we can't sell that. Oh, you'll be fine. It'll be okay. I'm like, okay. Well, we were selling it, and no one was a problem about it until one courthouse did. The next courthouse had a problem with it, and it kind of snowballed from there. But again, with a lot of Nebraska legislation and laws and stuff, it's older. And I don't think it's just Nebraska. I think there's just a lot of states out there that have older laws and stuff that people don't change or look at until it becomes a problem or someone brings it up. Well, I brought it up.
There you go.
And so now it kind of snowballed into changing, that LB98 we got.
And that's the one that dealt with the weight, right?
Yep,
Okay.
the weight and stuff. So we got that changed. So by changing LB98, we kind of got things changed there to kind of re-specify what an ATV or UTV are, so we can actually go to the courthouse and license them and register them like we're supposed to, because some courthouses were and some weren't. And so some people weren't collecting taxes on them or paying taxes on them. So we had to file a UCC. And in order for us to do that, it was a pain. So I kind of had a guinea pig to show how that was supposed to be done. And some courthouses didn't like it. I'm like, well, since you're not allowing us to register at the courthouse, here's how we have to do that. Well, that's not legal. Yes, according to the state, it is. So we actually had all the county clerks on our side to standardize it because everyone was doing it differently. So LB98 just made sense to pass to unify it. So it was kind of something that needed to pass, and that's kind of why it had that emergency clause on it. So once it actually got signed, it went into effect right away.
That's good. And you said you're working on a couple other ones too, right?
Yep. Water Camp has LB 33.7 in there right now, and so that's trying to. There's another center that has one in there similar to 33.7, but that's kind of the one that I'm kind of tied to with right now, to make ATVs and UTVs street legal, kind of like they are in South Dakota. Biggest reason why we're looking to do that is to kind of, again, to unify how things are done in the state. Because so in Norfolk, you can go to Norfolk and get a plate, but that's only good for Norfolk. If you want to go to Pierce, you have to load the machine up on a trailer, drive it to Pierce, get their plate, and then you can drive in Pierce.
And they all have different rules, which I think is stupid. Drives me crazy. Like Battle Creek, Dawn. I think the dawn to dusk thing needs to go away too on every time. Like these things have enough lights. They have enough safety features. Like you can see them from a mile away.
One of the rules, or one of the laws we also got passed too with 98 was a senator had one out there for moving snow. Now legally you weren't allowed to use the UTV or ATV to move snow after dark. Well, now
I do know most places were okay with that. Like
right,
they understood that part of it.
But technically it was illegal.
Do it, yeah.
Right. And so again, it's back to that whole
it's just common sense shit.
Right. And that's what we're trying to get past there now, is to put all this stuff to where it just makes sense. Let every town and municipality other than Lincoln and Omaha are basically have some kind of rules, right? Norfolk.
And not even in town, like out of town and all that. So in my opinion, like I can see maybe a 4-wheeler, not maybe dawn to dusk on that, but a UTV, I see no problems with a side-by-side or whatever being run at night.
Like on the highway you're talking, or just
county roads, anything
anywhere?
like
Well,
that. You're not supposed to run your ATVs at night.
Even in town here too?
No, out of town.
Oh, out of town. Okay.
The only in town, it is, you can't run, sun to sundown's all you can run them.
Okay.
Now, ag, if it's for ag use, you can basically go anywhere you want other than on the highways, interstates, whenever you want.
Not at night.
Other than at night.
You can't do it at night.
At night.
Which during harvest is crazy. Like if we could use these during harvest, like come on, what is the difference that in a pickup?
At harvest, or farmers that are cow calving. And again, I don't know how many farmers that are still doing it and how many sheriffs that are out there that know that farmer is what he's doing, that turns a blind eye or whatever.
I would imagine it happens.
But not saying it's right or wrong. But again, if that police officer or whoever wanted to throw a fit,
Want to be a
They
prick?
could
He
throw
can
a
be a
fit.
prick.
they very easily could, because again, there's no standardization of
And some of those
Of-
older
of what's
pickups
going
are
on.
probably harder to see with lights than these UTVs.
100%.
So
And a lot of these UTVs too, where I mean, some of these light bars are. We've got 52-inch light bars across the top. We got them down to the.
Which you
bumper,
probably
the side
shouldn't
ones are.
run those on
Yeah.
the street.
No,
because
no,
you don't want to meet
100%,
somebody.
blind somebody. But yeah,
You can see them from a mile away,
Right.
so you know that thing is there.
Right.
You should be able to like.
it's
So
like
I
a
don't see
UFO
this-
traveling down the road.
Yeah, I don't see the safety
Yeah.
issue in it, in my opinion, especially on these newer side by sides
Gotcha.
and stuff like that.
well, and that's the thing that we're trying to get through. So right now, it's literally stalled out in the Telecommunication Transportation Board. So there's 9 people on the committee that are sitting here saying yes or no whether it should even go to the floor to be voted on to become a bill. So that's this, and this is like the 3rd or 4th one of these types of bills that has been presented.
And they keep shutting it down.
Like Julie Salama from Nebraska City, she presented one. It doesn't even get out of committee because it just stays there, and they go, well, we don't want to, from what I hear from people in the committee, and I don't necessarily want to say names and stuff in there, but from what I hear, a lot of them are saying, well, we don't want to necessarily be the ones that put this out there and someone could get hurt. It might, we don't want to be held responsible. We don't know if we could live with ourselves if someone get hurt. Well, what's the difference between someone in a vehicle getting hurt or on a motorcycle? We got rid of the helmet law, and look there, nothing
gonna
really
say,
changed.
That's the one thing I bring
has
up.
the deaths gone up on that? Is there
I don't
any
think so.
data? There's no way.
But my thing is we're taking helmets off of motorcycles, which I'm fine with, but then we can't do these.
If they really cared about safety, they would outlaw cars because there's 30-some thousand deaths every year.
Right, that's what I mean.
And the people that bring those statistics up in there don't really know what they're talking about, in my opinion, of the power sports world and how these machines have changed from 5 years ago, 10 years ago to what they are now. I mean, these things with heat, AC, GPS, front rear cameras, seat belts.
It's nicer than my pickup.
If you don't plug the seat belt in, it won't go faster than 15 miles
I
an hour.
mean, you literally, like a brand new top of the line Ranger, you can probably buy a single cab short box pickup XL for the same price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of looked at them. They're basically the same exact price.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you can put car seats in these things. I mean, they're nice. And they're safe. I mean, but again, some of these
They should have
people-
the same rules as a vehicle. Like, if you're worried about safety, okay, they have a speed limit. You have to be on the right side of the road. You have to be.
And I get the thing is, well, they're not DOT approved. They're meant for off road use. But take that whole thing off the table. You look at every other state around us that has passed these laws. Look at South Dakota. Look at the amount of revenue that they've generated off this. We just part of LB 33 is I think he put like a $33 or $37 tax stamp on it. So if you want it, you pay that. Just on the ones that are registered right now, it would generate $1.5 million a year. That's not including any additional sales, any additional income tax, any additional add-on accessories, making these things street legal, like the turn signal kits, or how many people that would come into our stores wanting to buy more, or people that would literally just stay in the state of Nebraska versus going to South Dakota or Colorado or Utah to ride.
Right.
I don't like the concept of paying the tax stamp, though, because I'm an anti-tax on all. Like, I hate that we have to tell legislatures, look how much money it brings in if you do this, because they don't need that money.
But right now you're already paying the stamp in Battle Creek.
Well, yeah, it's like, I think I paid $20.
Okay,
for
so
the year.
what's the difference if you can go statewide for 37 versus 25 in Battle Creek?
Okay, I'll give you that. But I also don't want to do that in Battle Creek. That's my point. I don't want to pay that.
But
So the problem is now Battle Creek's gonna have a problem. Now they're gonna be mad because they're not gonna get their $25. You know what I mean? Or Pierce is gonna be mad, or Norfolk's gonna be mad. You see where I'm saying there a little bit.
But here's the I get that side of it, but the other side of it, that tax money that they're getting, it's not necessarily all going to the state, because that money okay, so if you look at that way, that money's going right into Battle Creek or right there. That could go to the county. So the police department, the city, it's all going to the taxes anyway, correct?
Yeah. Odds are if it's going to the state, it's going to go to the schools.
So where's that $22 you're going to Battle Creek going? Where's that going?
The city. It's going to go in their city coffers. That's where they've got it. I mean, I wrote the check.
Is that where it's
I
going?
literally wrote the
Norfolk
check
too?
to the city.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just going to their bank account, basically.
But,
so they're going to spend it however they want to spend it. But if it's going to the state, I guarantee you, like, generally, everybody looks at their tax forms. Most of it goes to the schools.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think it should have to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't attacking you on that. I'm just saying, like, I hate.
And I think the reason why
people say that, and that, not that I'm just saying, like, legislatures only care if they're making money, which baffles me.
I think
just make it easier for people.
Right. The reason, though, also why I think I'm okay with putting some kind of stamp or having to take it to there to look at it is because they want to have safety features on there that don't come from the OEMs, because you won't see a OEM put turn signal kits on there. You won't see an OEM add certain features on there that are required by like South Dakota or Norfolk or Stanton or Battle Creek have like the turn signal kit. So is someone having to come out and inspect that? Is that plate cost money? Is that kind of stuff? Is there a cost to that? Yeah. So I could see having some kind of fee on that. Now, where that money goes, I guess that's for politicians and city to say, make sure I get my piece of the pie of it. But
why are the OEMs not putting those? How much are those kits? Like, why aren't they just coming that way to begin with?
That will open up a whole can of worms, because then it'll apply for on-road use and that whole.
Gotcha. So the people that don't want it to have, is that what you're saying? Okay. I'm just trying to understand. I don't know much about all this. So
and I'm not trying to speak for an OEM, but I can just see that legality slippery slope that would go down.
It's just easier to leave it off. I get it.
They've definitely made it. Obviously we've looked at a bunch of these kits for even the ones that we have from a while ago. They've gotten way better from when we first bought our Ranger. Like, they were god awful kits. Now they're much better looking kits.
So there's kits out there that are push button, that are junk toggle ones that you can get for a couple $100. We, again, back to the whole professional, try to make stuff nicer for the customer. If you want it cheap, just to be legal, the one little bolt light in the front, don't care because you're not going to use it, but want to be legal, we'll put that kit in there. But we want something that's going to be usable, functional, safe, to make it like, so you want to use it to be safe. So we have literally the sequential lights, auto canceling, looks just like a vehicle. I mean, it's literally
nice.
a car setup.
They did start changing the rear lights on them, right, to make them a two-way light.
Yeah.
So the OEM started doing that eventually.
No, we have to. It's wired that we have to change the wiring.
Yeah.
Back there for it. So it's all integrated back there. So we can add remote start to these things now.
We got one on our Ranger.
Hey, your brother told me about that today. Yeah.
Did he tell you about like the time that he was fucking with Dad with it?
Yeah, in the trailer.
Yeah.
Dad
kept thinking it would just turn on its own.
Oh, he didn't know it was in there?
No, Justin was in the livestock trailer, and Dad's like, Jesus Christ, this thing just started on its own. His dad was gone, and we bought it for Christmas. I don't remember what we got it for, but yeah.
That's funny. Do you think with some of that too, do they have to crash test these? If they're not made for road use, is that part of it too? Like, is that part of the legality?
I think yes and no, but these things are meant for off-road use. So as far as rollovers and that kind of stuff, I mean, do the OEMs crash test these things to a certain extent? Yes, because these roll cages, are you going to have a roll cage that doesn't withstand a roll?
Right.
No, I mean, a lot of these roll cages they do the DOT tests, but are they actually DOT approved? Because they don't necessarily go down some of those regulations. I don't know, but I mean, we had a customer that was on the road over by Battle Creek that I think it was a Pontiac Grand Am hit him. It totaled out the Pontiac Grand Am, and it just ruined his brush guard.
Really?
We put a new brush guard and AR on, and he was just fine, and totaled out the car.
Wow.
So these things are pretty safe. But again, it goes back to just standardizing these things, and I've even made the offer to to the people in the telecommunication transportation committee, let me bring these machines down there. I'll show you. You can put the seat, how the seat belts work, the car seats in there. I can show you how safe these machines are, because a lot of people that are on that committee are from the Lincoln, Omaha area.
Probably never seen one, been in one.
I think they're comparing them to a golf cart or something. They haven't been around these machines to know really what they consist of, what they are. And, in the bill too, it says, yes, you have to stay off the highway. Yes, you have to stay off the interstate. Great. I agree with that kind of stuff. But not only that, if your town or city or municipality wants to vote against it, they can. Look at Jake breaks in town, right?
Right.
How many towns you go into? Jake breaks are prohibited due to this ordinance. Make your own ordinance. So you have 9 people that
It's
are not
never
even
followed. But
You have 9 people that are saying not even allowing it to go to a vote because of they're thinking of something that may or may not happen. Where how many people are already using these things? How many towns and cities and stuff are already doing some type of form of this anyway?
right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I get that. Anything else on the legislature or Moto Plex? Because we're going to kind of jump a little bit and then get back into the NASCAR thing here towards the end. But
That, and we're trying to actually, there is no state definition of what a power sports dealer is. That's the other thing we found out.
you were telling me about that when you called me earlier.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
So we were looking at doing some dealer buyback stuff for sleds and watercraft and boats and some different stuff. And part of this whole thing going down there, there's a state thing for automotive that we found, right? And equipment dealer. But according to some OEMs, they don't classify equipment as ATV stuff. And so we're trying to figure out the actual definition for the state of an ATV dealer or a boat dealer, all that kind of stuff. So right now we're having to, again, look at different statutes and regulations of what an ATV dealer is or isn't, a boat dealer, a ski-doo dealer, things like that, so it can actually define what some of the stuff is.
Right. It's kind of crazy that there's not really a definition for that in any of this stuff. And they've been around for how long?
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. Well, hopefully that gets taken care of.
Working on it.
Yeah. We are sitting at about an hour. I usually do have to end up using the restroom, so we'll take a quick pause if that's all right with you. Use the restroom. We'll be right back, folks. All right, we are back. So we kind of left off with the Moto Plex stuff, legislature. Now I want to ask you about something from a while back. You ran for county commissioner, 3rd District in Stanton.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
What was that experience like? Any highlights or takeaways?
Well, it was kind of tough because it was during COVID. So decided to kind of run for that just because I thought common sense, right?
Yep.
Let's where we moved out there, we're out on Ridge Road, and the people that are supposed to take care of my road don't take care of my road. The people that do things don't. And just looking at some of the things, how certain things are ran or done and things like that, and people that actually are supposed to show up and do things don't. Not saying that just the commissioner, they're just in county politics in general. I'm like, okay, hey, I think I could help and do some things there. Let's run and try this out. And talking with some other people that are there in Stanton about it, and they're like, hey, we think you would do good. Let's get you to run. I'm like, okay, well, we're getting ready to buy a Moto Plex. I think I can manage to do both. Let's run for it.
Well, this was all at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
My wife thought it was a really great idea.
I'm sure she did.
And then all of a sudden COVID happened. So we really couldn't go out and talk to anyone. Couldn't go out and do anything. Really do any kind of campaigning at all because of COVID. I mean, you couldn't hold any kind of, town halls, talk to people, knock on doors, do anything. So literally all I could do was just send out a mailer, start a Facebook page, and just answer phone calls that people would call me on from the mailer and stuff like that. And people that would stop down at Moto Plex. And that's about all I could do because of the time it was. and I lost by 26 or 27 votes is all. So I think I did a pretty good job of campaigning and doing everything I could for the circumstances we were in.
Mm-hmm.
Still kind of go to some of those meetings and throw my 2 cents in with people there and stuff that I can about, what the windmills and some other topics and stuff that are going on and in the county when I can and stuff on it. So
Do you see yourself ever running for office again?
It's been talked about. I've been approached to run for some other positions and stuff for some people that are coming up on terming out and stuff like that. With everything we have going on with Moto Plex right now, I don't feel it would do Moto Plex or the positions justice either way. So we're just not going to go down that road right now.
Yeah,
maybe in the future, but I hate seeing people that run for positions just because they want to run for position for the
title.
name, for the title, and then don't give it the actual
justice
respect it deserves to do that kind of stuff. So could I run and get a title? Sure. But would I have the time to do that fully, or what would sacrifice? Would it be that position and not do it right and make the people that voted for me there mad and going, well, geez, we voted he was going to do this, and not do it? Or would it make my business and my employees sacrifice and get mad at me going, well, geez, he's never here. He's doing this over here. So I'd rather just 5-year plan it, keep my head down and grow what we're doing and
keep putting your 2 cents in when you can and go from there.
Not that they listen anyway, but at least I can say I tried,
Yeah. Do you what is your take on local government atmosphere right now? Like either county or city here in town? Without getting too deep, if you don't want to get too deep, but
some good, some bad. We're try to, I wish again, common sense, right? We're having some stuff down there at the shop right now of trying to close a street down that hasn't been used for so many years, and they may want to reopen it, may not want to reopen it, and no one uses it. I literally own both sides of the street, and no one else goes down there except for there's another business that does access that road, but he can access it from the other side. But him and I have both went to the meeting saying close it down. Clayton and I will buy it or sell it to us, and we'll sign an easement, and we'll actually pave it ourselves and make it better. But again, common sense isn't common.
What's the reason for not doing it? Is there been a reason?
They may want to reopen the road someday.
Oh, that's okay.
But it's never been paved. It's still gravel. We put our own gravel on it to maintain it because it gets washed out. We move the snow on it. I've been the last year since they've told me that I've been calling when there's dust snow. Hey, gotta move snow. We'll get to it, and they never do.
Right.
So we basically take care of it all the time. But I go, well, a while back they promised to pave all roads that aren't paved. Well, you have to pay for it. Okay. Then it's like, because I'll eventually pave it when I own it to put my building across the street, because I'm going to put a forklift across it anyway.
Right.
It's just some of the stuff doesn't.
I get it.
Make sense.
Do you feel like our area is being represented the way it should be?
In what aspects?
I guess as voters, do you feel like either at the state level or the county level, do you feel like that the people that we put in place are voting on things that matter specifically to Nebraskans? Or do you think there's too many other bills out there that really don't make an impact to the everyday Nebraskan?
There are definitely a lot of, what do you want to say, pork, a lot of fat on some of the stuff that's out there, whether it be state or federal. Some, even some stuff here, like, there's definitely things that can be changed to simplify things, right? I think there's too much bureaucracy, things that stay in there long term. that shouldn't be in there. Again, getting back to some term limit things, how long people should be in office, not letting them be in there too long. Being able to piggyback stuff on certain bills. If you want to pass the bill, it should be your bill, not other stuff on there. And things like that. You shouldn't be able to just add things to, there's no reason a bill should be how many pages long and no one ever actually read it or understand what's even in a bill just to put someone else's crap in there that no one even knows about. There's definitely stuff that I don't agree with, but there's definitely stuff out there too that I don't understand that you don't necessarily want to be too judgmental on and get too far in the weeds and political on because you don't know both sides of it, right? Some people going, oh, this bill, we're taking away these person's rights. Well, no, we're not actually taking away their rights. There's this. So it's definitely a lot about getting educated on it too. So I think a lot more recently, it's either right or left, yes or no, right or wrong, right? There's no in between, and there needs to be that in between like there used to be, and having a decent conversation.
Yeah.
The mindset of being able to have different political views or different just views as a person, whether it be political, religious, whatever kind of beliefs you want to call it, you can have those. You got to be able to have a conversation and accept to be able to disagree.
Yeah, find out what the bill's actually going to do, not just
right, not
on
just,
the service level.
Exactly. I think that's the issue. A lot of the stuff that we get is just the surface level of it, and we don't actually know what's all in there. And that's what's causing all the problems is there's too much pork, too much crap in those bills to where,
they don't know what they're voting on.
LB 98. We want to raise the weight limits to ATV. Pretty simple. Not this bill, but has this stipulation, this, and it's like
we want to raise the weight of the ATVs or UTVs, and then Moto Plex gets a subsidy of this. That wasn't the case,
right?
Which I think a lot of this animosity has came from decades of just throwing a bunch of shit into a bill,
right?
And look what it's done to everybody, and done to the country, and done to the state, done to the cities, municipalities, and all this. And then so people are starting to get a little antsy because they just now are figuring this out. Which I've been railing on this since I've been 15 years old.
Right.
But
and
so now there's more scrutiny on it, and now it's getting toxic because of that.
It's amazing what people don't realize how, like, what they taught you or should have taught you in school about how to budget your checkbook, how to actually know what politics are. Simple things like that that you should or shouldn't have learned that a lot of people didn't. And now they're going, that would have been useful to know X amount of years ago. And now they're going, well, now I want to know. And I read something on TikTok or Facebook, and now I'm a professional on it.
Right.
15 years later.
Right. Pillen talked about him wanting to get in this unicameral this time, getting property taxes under control. Do you think that's going to happen?
From people I've talked to, I know it's a topic of a lot of bills that are being brought up that if it does not generate or reduce taxes, to not even bring that bill up for proposal because it'll get shut down right away.
Yeah.
Which I guess there's two ways to look at it. Is it good to know of what the mindset of this session is? Great. We know what the topics are. But could there have been something else that needs to be addressed that's not being addressed that could get hurt? Maybe. But at least we know what hopefully the parameters are of what should get done.
But is anything going to get done?
That's there you go.
That's what I'm asking.
We're going to go here and do this, and nothing happens. We're like, well, that was a waste. And all of a sudden we have these other bills or something that should have gotten taken care of. But again, when you have bills that make sense and they don't even make it to the floor because some people feel, well, this may or may not happen, but yet it doesn't even get voted on. Why do they get to make that decision? Yes, I get we voted that person into office, but I didn't vote for that person to be on that committee to not allow something that I want to even get voted on.
How are those? Are those committees selected? How are
They select themselves.
they select themselves?
They vote. A lot of them get voted in by themselves and through the leadership and that type of stuff. I don't
I always wondered
know
how
exactly how it works.
Okay.
I know the unicameral it's a outdated system and it needs to go away. It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a really bad problem, in my opinion. That's why they can't get anything accomplished in the state of Nebraska.
It's just a giant circle. Nothing ever gets
Yeah,
accomplished.
it's you don't have two houses. You don't have. It's terrible.
How long did it take, like this LB98 to get through, like from start to finish?
How long did I work on? How long did that whole
Like how long
process
did that
take?
process take? Just roundabout top of your head.
6 months.
6
Which
months.
is pretty
That's pretty quick
amazingly
People
quick.
are like, how?
That's amazingly quick.
Yeah.
yeah, like we
for Nebraska.
But again, that's a common sense thing that didn't cost any extra money. Didn't
right.
right, and that's the thing. The things that I'm proposing don't cost, if anything, generate. And and I know not all bills are that way, but again, if you don't have the pork, the crap, and keep things very specific, like I want this to change for this, period. Yes or no. It makes things very simple. But when you start adding in the extra crap in there, well, it helps the voting process, so it streamlines it because then we can take care of more things at once. No, you're not actually, because nothing ever gets done or voted on, so you're not actually I think the concept way back when made sense, but it got so abused and used, and now it's so wrong and corrupt, it doesn't work that way. So
It
needs
makes
to be
it makes sense with no corruption and with people of really high character.
right.
If you don't have people of high character, it is no longer going to work.
And making new things, right? Because now what we're doing is we're trying to make new ones and also revamping all these other ones, which that's why it's getting so muddled up, right?
Yeah, and you go back to this pork, the weight of this machine, or why this courthouse can't do this or this courthouse can't do that, is just because somebody threw this in here. Nobody read it. Like, we're going to put a limit on it right here. Well, we're not thinking about what maybe could happen in the future.
It even got to the point with that bill. We passed, or not we. I didn't do anything. I just threw my 2 cents in and got some lobbyists involved and some lawyers involved to help get a senator to write the bill and pass it. Yay! But even after that was passed, we still had some courthouses that were having issues with it because they were still self-interpreting the bill and the law, because it states that a side-by-side is 72 inches or less. An ATV is 50 inches or less. 2 separate definitions, 2 separate statutes. But because it was part of the same bill, there's a period in between there. For some reason, they must not have their glasses on. They couldn't see that.
Have you been in a courthouse? I'm just throwing this out there. There's a lot of old ladies working in a courthouse. Just throwing it out there.
They didn't see it. They smushed that together. So they assumed that a side by side is 72 or 78 inches to 50 inches, and it couldn't be narrower than that. I'm like, no, nowhere did it say that there's a width limit. It goes or less. They go, well, but it's an ATV now, it's 50 inches or less. So like, no, but you're self-interpreting the law. Those are 2 separate things. So we literally had to call the DMV to talk to them, and I can't remember her name, but she's a saint down there, because her and I had multiple conversations. She goes, all right, Clayton, how can I explain this to help them to interpret it the right way so you have no more issues? And her and I were calling each other every other day, because one courthouse. And it got to the point where other power sports dealers were having issues at their courthouse, and they would call, and they'd call me, and they're like, how did you get involved with all this? I'm like, I don't know, but how many years have you been a dealer? And I've only been a dealer for 4 years. Why is this? Why did I have to do all this work?
Right.
But we got it figured out to where now it's all unified like it's supposed to be with LB98 to where they know the definitions of it and stuff like that. But if we would do the same thing with 33.7 and make things unified across the board, it'd make things just
even smoother.
Standardize it, make things easier. So it's just how much easier that'd be if you could jump in your General or your Ranger in Battle Creek
and go home to the farm.
Right.
Battle Creek to the farm at night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, especially now. You get dark at 5:22.
You can't even just go from Battle Creek to the farm?
No. Technically you can't.
No.
And really, well, I guess I could take the back roads home,
if you're using the machine, if he's for ag use, if you're out there checking your stuff and he leaves the house and using it for ag use, technically you can. But if you're not using it for ag use, you have to be permitted in that town to use it according to that town with what their jurisdictions are.
Correct. But not at night.
But not at night.
I could not drive if it's dark, either in the morning or at night. I cannot drive it from the farm to the house or the house to the farm.
That is wild to me. Get that changed.
Well, call the people in the telecommunication transportation board and tell them to vote on it because it's there.
I'll do my best. I'm not sure I'm gonna make a difference, but
so
let's kind of wrap up the main part of the show and let's talk about honoring the Weller family, right?
Yeah.
At the NASCAR deal. You want to kind of give us the whole rundown on that?
Yeah, it was a tough 25, like I said earlier, with everything that went on with Katie's family and stuff. First part of the year, her grandpa passed away. Had some complications there, back in January. So we lost him in January, and then
so right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first, like I said, it's been a long, it's been a tough 25 all together. So we lost Katie's, grandpa, and then right before 4th of July, we were literally in the garage Sunday, and I was messing around the garage and Katie's phone rang. She didn't answer it. Of course, what do they do right away? Because Katie, she's terrible at answering her phone. Her dad called me and said, did you hear? I'm like, what's going on? And they go, they all went down to the plane. I'm like, who went down to the plane? And I knew right away it wasn't good. I heard they all went down to the plane. So I'm like, who's all in it? And that's when they told us who was all in there. And so it was a bad day. But with the whole NASCAR deal, it came up kind of a random deal. We sponsored the car probably, I'd say 7 or 8 years ago, actually with Don. Jimmy Weller raced a car. That would be Katie's cousin. He's actually the son that still survived that wasn't in the plane. He actually raced the car for Don in the truck series, and so he raced for SS Greenlight Racing way back then.
Well, so there was kind of a previous
so
relationship.
We had a connection there with the racing and stuff there. And Katie's family had a racetrack. When Katie's grandpa passed away, they ended up selling it because no one could really take care of it and stuff now. In Sharon, Ohio, is Sharon Speedway with the Blaney's and stuff. So they have a lot of race ties with NASCAR and racing and stuff with the racetrack and the Blaney's and all that kind of stuff. So they've been in racing for a long time and stuff. So the race team reached out and said, hey, we got this car. It's going to Iowa. We know you sponsored before. It's kind of short notice. Is there any way you guys want to sponsor the car? I'm like, it's short notice. Let's do something next year on it. But absolutely, I want to have you guys.
10 days?
Yeah, like 7-10 days is all they gave us notice. Like barely any time at all. I'm like, I don't think we can make this work. And we were sitting out on the back porch, and we were just sitting there talking. I'm like, I don't think we can make this work. When is it? They're like, August 2nd. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, hey, Katie, I talked to her. I'm like, we're talking about it. I'm like, that's your grandpa's birthday. All this. It's the company that your cousin raced for, all this. It's racing. Like it kind of everything just kind of aligned. I'm like it kind of like the stars aligned mentality for us to kind of felt it would be a good way to honor the Weller family and the two pilots and the pilots were basically family too. I mean, they were with the family for a long time. I mean, Timmy's flown with the family and everything for years and stuff. So it's basically they were all family. So it just felt like a good way for us to honor them of doing the race and stuff up there. I see that one up there. That was the Kansas City car up there. That one was.
Yeah, and wasn't there something significant with the number 7 too?
The 07 the 07 was the same number that Jimmy raced when he raced the Craftsman Truck Series.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it all kind of just happened to line up. I mean, it was all just real short notice. Like I said, less than 10 days from them calling us to figuring out how to wrap a car, honor them and stuff on it. We ended up getting. We actually got the hood down at Moto Plex. They actually gave us the hood of the race car.
Oh, they gave you the hood? They had the names of everybody on it, right?
Yeah. So
That's
we got the Moto Plex emblem on there and everyone's names on the hood that they raced that day at the track and stuff. So we got the hood down there at Moto Plex. We're probably gonna hang it up on one side. We got that steel American flag. We're probably gonna hang it up on the opposite side of the building up there.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
It's also the rat. They had a SS Greenlight had a rat person.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's probably why you're able to do it so quickly. Because I would assume if they didn't have somebody, it wouldn't have been able to work probably.
Yeah, they got to have a rap person probably in house that do that stuff that fast. Because we did Kansas City and that one was about the same kind of turnaround. They're like, hey, we know you just did this one here. He's told us no and stuff, but you're supposed to meet us in Kansas City to pick up the hood and stuff from the car. You want to do Kansas City too? I'm like, you guys are killing me, but like, sure, why not? I go, but next year we're gonna get more time, so we're planning on this next year race series to do an Iowa or Kansas City and actually have the cars come to Norfolk and Columbus so people can actually
see
them and enjoy them more and stuff like that. So kind of be able to have Katie kind of share her family's experience racing and that kind of stuff with people in town. I know we had the Craftsman truck in town a while back and stuff with the old Motoplex, but where the actual Xfinity stuff and the more car stuff, that's kind of where she's at and stuff with what her family did and having the dirt track and stuff like that to experience that stuff.
That's really cool. I'm sure she was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it was the Iowa one was definitely real emotional. Kansas City was a little bit more fun, a little more laid back, but Iowa was definitely emotional seeing that on the car and experiencing all that and stuff on it. So
sure, it was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to get a couple die cast made of the Iowa car and stuff for us to hand out to the family.
That'll
and
be
stuff like
awesome.
That. So yeah, they're going to make a little die cast of the actual car and stuff for us.
That'll be great. That sounds. It's awesome you guys were able to do that and could do that. And sounds like you're going to do it again. Obviously.
Yeah, everyone's like, how the heck did you guys manage to get your car on a? Yeah, I know it's not like the Cup Series that the big guys. I'm like, one day we will call. we'll get something figured out. We'll call one of those Blaney favors or something like that. Figure that out. But it's all Katie.
Yeah,
it's all Katie. Her family had the connection and stuff, and with Jimmy, and then with sponsoring them before, it just kind of it all happened to work out with making it work there for Iowa and stuff. So it was a cool experience. Plan on doing it again, but being able to actually do a little more with the cars here in Norfolk and stuff, so people can actually
that'll be huge.
See what they are. I know having like Abe there and a couple of the other, we gave away a bunch of tickets. I think we did like 12 or 14 for the Iowa race, and I think like 16 or something like that for the Kansas City race. And so people that went to it, like it's a lot of that goes into the whole NASCAR thing. It's not just one person in the car. I know you guys talk with Cameron and stuff. It's a team of people that make that car go around the track, and so being there all day, being able to see what goes into those things, it's pretty neat. So
it is definitely. It's just even fun hearing what Cameron has to do for his. I couldn't just imagine having to do it at a NASCAR level. It's kind of wild. So like outside of that, you and Moto Plex sponsor a lot of local events. You mentioned the comedy shows, and I'm sure you do more than just that.
Yep, comedy shows. We've done the horse track in Columbus. We've done stuff like that. Yep.
Why is giving back so important to you outside of maybe what you've already said about helping or giving back to your clients or your people you sold to? What is there any other reasons why it's so important to you?
I think as human beings, I think it's part of your nature to want to or should want to give back, right? If you're in the position to be able to do good to others, you should. I think that's part of what makes humans us compassionate people, or should be compassionate people, being able to give back. So Katie and I are fortunate enough to be able to do that kind of stuff. You know, we have certain groups and certain fundraisers or certain things that we gravitate more to versus others that we deal with. You know, everyone has their things they like. I don't say like, but you know, feel compassionate more about others.
Makes sense.
You can only do so much. So we try to do what we can where we can, but you know, we feel fortunate enough to be in the situation where we can give back. So we try to do the best we can with what we have.
That's awesome. I always like, especially when you keep things local too, it makes it good. You know, to give back to your local community and people that are buying here. You know, try to keep as much money here as possible. We push a lot of the buy local. So
yeah, and that's what's, you know, we catch a lot of flack from the whole buy local. You know, and we do buy a lot of local, but what's getting a little tough now for Katie and I is local now for us is becoming a little bit bigger, right? Because local now isn't just Norfolk. It's, you know, I was born and raised in Norfolk, but I live in Stanton, so now local Stanton.
Yep.
I got a place in Columbus now, so locals Columbus.
Yep.
I got a location in, can't quite say yet. So
right.
You're like, is he? No.
I was waiting for it.
I know where it's going to be, so I'd prefer you not to buy local over there.
So it's you gotta, we do what we can where we can and stuff at it. So it's we try to keep things, you know, in the state as much as we can anyway. We'll put it that way.
I like that.
You know, in Katie with her big ties when she came here was Alzheimer's, you know, with Lou Blaney and Alzheimer's Association. She'll bring that back to Norfolk and stuff and get that back going and stuff. So that's one of the big associations we help with there.
That's really awesome. I didn't realize that she was a big part of bringing that back.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome to hear. Is there anything that we missed or that you wanted to talk about that we didn't discuss? We've talked about quite a bit.
Yeah. Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. So at the end of the show, we play a little game of Would You Rather. Ever played Would You Rather before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. The thing about this one is that I put in the questions that I put together into AI, and then AI spits out some Would You Rather questions about what the episode was about.
Okay.
And I haven't seen these yet. Okay. All right. So none of us have seen them. So they might be shit, and they have been shit before. So I apologize if these
some
are shit.
Some of them are good. Some of them, not so much.
Yeah, some of them are right, and some of them are just complete shit. So we'll go through these. There's 10 of them, and you just answer. If you want to laugh at it and just brush it off, that's fine too. First one. Would you rather sell 10 entry-level side-by-sides in a week or one fully loaded top-of-the-line model? 10? Okay.
Get 10 customers, 10.
I was going to say, yeah, probably the easiest way to do it. The other side is probably more money-wise, but...
Well, the other side would be fun, but I get 10 happy customers, hopefully for life.
Right. Makes sense. Like that answer. Would you rather deal with a customer who's never driven a side-by-side or one who thinks they already know everything?
Never driven one.
I figured. Is there a reason? Just to help them out with that experience, or because they
help them out with that experience? Because, you know, and that's part of our, I wouldn't say training, but like when we get a new salesperson, you know, you always want to have call that form of that customer analysis. Like what are they going to use it for? We do that with, you know, with our customers that come in. They're new to it. Like, what are you going to do with it? You're going to work with it, play with it, both, you ride by yourself, you have a family, you know, that's all part of it. It's going to be used. Okay, you're going to take your dog with you. We better put some seat covers on it. You know, things like that. That's all part of those questions you need to ask to figure out what's going to work best for that customer, because you don't want to be, all right, Mr. Know-it-all. Okay, you think you want this machine and sell him that machine, and he comes back and he's pissed off because you sold him what he thought he wanted.
Right, but it wasn't what he needed.
Exactly.
Got it. Would you rather have the best sales month of your life or the smoothest stress-free service season?
Toss up.
Is there a season for service?
I was gonna say,
Isn't
yeah.
it all
I don't
year?
know. Yeah, I'm like,
so that
I'm like,
means a full year of nice.
I was gonna say a full year of nothing to worry about in the shop, or a sales month. I'd say nothing to worry about in the shop for a year. You're fantastic.
There you go. That's a good answer. Would you rather work with a dream team of employees or have a line of loyal customers that never shop anywhere else?
I think a dream team of employees, because a dream team of employees will give me a line of customers all day long.
Good answer. Would you rather spend a day turning wrenches in the shop or a day closing deals on the showroom floor?
I'd much rather turn wrenches all day long.
Yeah? Why?
Mechanic. That's
Yeah, just
and
at
people
your heart.
and people know that. Like, I like working deals and stuff like that. People are like, oh, you're a salesperson, but I'm a mechanic. Like I said, I'm kind of a weird owner, where a lot of owners come from the sales side to ownership, where I'm an odd one. I was back of house first.
Yeah.
To owner, so I'd much rather go back there.
It's your comfort zone.
Yeah, tear an engine apart, rebuild it, do that stuff all day long. Because the guys in the back will catch me every once in a while. What are you working on today, guys? You got a problem with something? They're like, get out of here. I'm like, no.
I want to play too.
Exactly. What's going on back here? I know sometimes it annoys them. I'm like, I can annoy you because I'm the boss.
It's only gonna be like 5 minutes. I'm only gonna do it for like 5 minutes,
exactly.
and then you can get back to it.
But sometimes I'll come back there, and I like to be able to think that I'm helping them out and some stuff like that, because we do have some new techs that are green, you know, but they got to start somewhere and stuff. I'm like, hey, you know, like we got a new guy, like, how long have you been doing it? I'm like, hey, I literally started where you're at sweeping the floor. Like, you started sweeping the floor? I'm like, yeah, now I own the place. Like, you can, and that's one thing that we're trying to do with our employees, because Katie and I have no kids and stuff. Like, this is our baby. With our employees, like, we want someday to have our employees be able to buy and take over the stores from us, and that's kind of our thing with our employees. Like, we want to have lifelong employees to be able to take over these someday from us. That's
awesome
kind of
to
what
hear.
we're doing with the store we're open with Dan. You know, he's been with us for a long time, and he's getting the opportunity to basically run his own store now. So
that's really cool. Kind of passing that forward from what you got.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I did at that concert. I did see, like, obviously I just ran into you down there, but just to watch you, like, with all your employees and stuff, I thought that was really cool. Like, them and their spouses and their dates and all that, their plus ones, and you guys were going to run the booth together the next day and all that. I thought that was really cool watching that type of stuff.
yeah, because without the employees, I don't got a business. Like, an owner thinks he can do everything by himself. Yeah, you can do a lot, but you can't do everything. And so without my employees, I'm nothing. So you got to have a good staff, and we have a really good staff. We need more, you know, and that's what we're trying to do right now. And that's what's tough, is with changing all the computer systems and adding and growing and stuff like that. There's been hiccups along the way and changing stuff. You know, I would say we don't know what we don't know until we fix it or change it and mess up a little bit, but we're trying to make things better. But I kind of preach to people. I'm like, hey, stick it out, stick with me. We're making it better, and we're kind of proving it now with what we're doing right now with the next location, kind of like with Dan, of giving him the opportunity to stand on his own 2 feet and run a store.
That's awesome. Would you rather run a dealership in a huge city with constant traffic or stay in a small town with loyal repeat customers?
I think small town has kind of been our niche of what we're doing. Like, with the 3 stores we're going to have is kind of our clientele. We kind of know how that works.
Would you ever venture into a big city situation?
Time will tell.
Would you rather get a call from a satisfied customer showing off their new ride or a manufacturer offering you exclusive rides to a new model? Get a call from a satisfied customer showing off their new ride or a manufacturer offering you exclusive rides to a new model. Not sure what that.
I don't get that one.
That sounds like, would you rather have one of your customers that you sold them something, you didn't really see them get it, but then they like are getting back to you saying, hey, look at what, here I am with the machine I bought from you? Or would you rather have to be the only exclusive dealer for whatever this product is from this manufacturer? Or would you rather have the customer be extremely excited and reach out to you and say, hey, look at me with my new machine?
I get it. Or even like if it's like you're the only dealer that gets to sell this certain Polaris model even.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's the way I understand that.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to have the customer be excited to show me that one machine, but an exclusive model, depending on what that model would be, pretty legit.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sad. That's what I was thinking too. I get it.
He hates customers, everybody.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Would you rather double your online sales or do you even have online sales?
Haven't really ventured into that. I mean, we have like online leads and stuff like that. You know, that's kind of what we have Abe helping us work on and generating stuff there with our Facebook and YouTube and generating leads and stuff there. I mean,
So let's look at it that way. Let's look at it that way. So would you rather double your online leads or double your word of mouth referrals?
Honestly, right now, depending on what those leads online look like versus mouth referrals means typically they're in the store, or online leads might mean the typical Facebook. Is this still available? So it depends on what kind of leads you're getting. So I think the word of mouth means they're walking into the store.
And the word of mouth would be from somebody that's already a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already got probably a higher bar set.
Right.
Word of mouth is definitely always better than
Yep.
any kind of lead generated.
No,
stuff.
100%.
Trust me. Would you rather be known for having the best prices or the best customer service? I think we already know
Customer
that answer.
service all day long.
I knew that. This is the last one. See if these haven't been too bad. I was kind of surprised.
Pretty good.
Would you rather sell a side-by-side to every farmer in the sell a side-by-side to every farmer in the county, or become the go-to dealer for every small business fleet?
Every farmer.
Every farmer? Why is that?
I think every farmer, because there's going to be more repeat, more business, more actual appreciation there versus the fleet stuff. I mean, we do some fleet stuff right now with some of it.
What would fleet stuff be? Because I don't understand the fleet stuff in the ATV, UTV world, the power sports world.
MPPD, ADM.
Okay. Gotcha.
Some of these seed companies that come in and buy 5 at a time. I would assume things like that.
Would some like police departments and fire
they're not really
or
buying
cities?
They're not really buying multiples at a time. They're like onesie twosies.
Gotcha.
Most fire department, and that's a long-term deal.
Like right now, we just did one. I think it was Albion. We just built out a really cool 1500 white crew and put all kinds of lights and stuff on
for ADM or for their EMT stuff. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
And usually like fleet stuff, they're not going to take care of it the way most farmers are going to take care of it.
Right.
Because that's like what we talked about. Like it's your if you own it as a farmer, it's your tool.
That's like hearing a vehicle was a rental.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for you, man. Anything else you want to get out to the world? You sure you don't want to tell us? I still think I think I've been told this, but I'm kidding. You don't have to say anything.
You'll find out soon.
We'll find out. But anyway, it's been awesome hearing about your journey. I knew it would be a good show. Thanks for sitting down with us. We'll drop the Moto Plex links in the description. Other than that, make sure you guys go check out Clayton at the Norfolk and Columbus location.
Yep.
Moto Plex. I don't even know where is the one in Columbus.
Right there on the main drag.
Is it?
Downtown,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
1500 23rd Street East.
There we go. We tested his knowledge.
It's a goofy address. You got to put the East at the end because it's in the middle there. It sends you downtown someplace.
Oh, does it?
A little goofy on that one.
Well, make sure you go check him out. Abe is down. Does he go? He kind of bounces back and forth, right?
Yep.
To both locations. Cool. Abe's kind of a precursor on the shows around here, so we'll make sure
I'm
our
sorry. I'm
We
sorry
don't
for
tell
that.
people that.
oh yeah, we don't tell people that, right?
The
yeah.
two people that listen know, but
Yeah, the two people that listen to us know.
we have new
that
listeners.
Abe,
Don't
yeah.
worry about Abe.
He's a great guy. But anyway, other than that, make sure you go check out all of his locations. Go buy a new side by side or
Side by side, ATV, motorcycle, watercraft, snowmobile.
there for a while. You were selling Camp Chef.
We still have Camp Chef grills.
You still have them?
Yep. We're actually right now, I think the shop in Norfolk is running a promotion right now. You get your machine, I think, serviced or full service done this month. Get entered in to win a flat top.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of nice. Do you guys do service on those Camp Chefs too?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yep.
Dang.
That was one of those things we had to get on during because COVID, we couldn't get a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That was one of those things we picked up during
Yeah.
COVID. I wanted something that was actually here and stuff like that that come out of Utah.
I own one. I should have called you up to fix it.
Well,
Dang it. I didn't know.
And now you know.
I know. I'll call you. Well, no. Yeah, I'll call you. Anyway, other than that, we are at our 2-year anniversary for the podcast.
Happy to
So you're kind of our 2-year anniversary guest. We've kind of shortened our touching bases. We do once a month now instead of once a week.
We went a long time at once a week.
Yeah.
Year and a half ish.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah. We were doing 2 episodes, one for our other show and one for this show every week. So it got a little rough.
It's just time management.
Yeah.
It gets to be and that's what's bringing Katie on board has really been a godsend because it just time. It just
Right.
gets away from you. Just
Right. Well, it's good. I'm glad she's there for you now.
yeah. We'll see if she is after a while.
yeah. We'll see how long it lasts. We'll get you back on in a year and we'll see if she's still there.
She's start going to looking at companies. When can I come?
Yeah.
I need a new job.
You'll walk in the office and she's filling out applications.
Just you'll have that paper will be open, one ads, help wanted, circled here, circled here.
All right, let's see it work in a little bit. And she's like, I ain't going. Where are you going? Different place.
That's awesome. Well, again, happy anniversary to us, I guess. 2
yeah,
years.
happy anniversary.
Thank you. And be on the lookout for more episodes.